There we go.
Natural 1. I will absolutely lose my shit.
I can make that happen, Snorak. 79.
All right. All right. Oh, this is a little bit more personal. The question for you to answer is, what do you do after you've had a quarrel? I'm going to start with Grim today. An argument.
Is this because Esben can't come up with anything in reasonable time?
On the spot?
Wow,
yes.
wow.
I'm giving him time to process.
Ironically, this is one I could actually come up with right now if you wanted me to.
His requirements are, I think, 3 to 5 business days.
That's express delivery.
Grim, what'd Grim do? He'd probably just go work out.
After an argument, just go work out.
It's a great way to blow off steam. Go lift heavy things.
There you go. Go lift heavy things. Esben, seems like you do have what you would do.
If he has the ability to, he'd probably just storm off into his room and then just rant at himself for hours.
Are you the one who had the perfect comeback in the shower?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
That is me in a nutshell. Oh my gosh. I don't need to be attacked like that. Holy moly. Whoa. I thought we were playing D&D, not filming.
All right, Henzim, what would you do after an argument?
I would go for a walk and find somebody to prank on the way outside.
How very Fae-like. How very gnome-like. Yeah. What would you do?
Kia would probably look quite composed and walk her way to the forest, but as soon as she's out of sight, she'd quite literally go kick rocks and lead into like something.
She goes and kicks rocks without even being told to.
That sounds like
somebody
someone who grew up in a culture that discouraged emotional clarity. There you go.
Indeed. Very emotionally stunted.
Volker.
It depends. If I win the argument, I will certainly feel smug about it. Otherwise, I'll return to my studies. It'll simply be a way out of the argument.
Okay. Thank you, everybody. So, let's go ahead and roll for recap.
Let's see who rolls a nat one today.
Storex.
Ooh, 6 again, baby.
I've never seen you roll above a 10. Town.
Not for these.
You gotta save those high dice rolls for when it matters.
Oh, it's Flippy's turn.
Oh, Flippy got that one.
I'm so safe.
Flippy took the heat.
Yo, does reliable count? Just for hypothetical, would reliable count on?
Are you proficient in blank d20s?
Yes.
Very proficient.
If you want me to.
All right, everybody, hush down. We're gonna listen to Uncle Volker tell us what happened last week.
No.
Yeah, Uncle Flippy, tell us what happened.
So, essentially, we spent a lot of time walking in circles. Well, half the party spent a lot of time walking in circles, meeting with the old lady that gave us the key to her house. Supposedly, we were going to the attic or the basement. We never knew. We'll never know. It was lost in translation. we managed to sneak around her house and find out another geyser has been running amok, this time in the surface. We quickly dispatch of it and find the cat that was thought dead. After that, Volker managed to investigate like the source that it could have come from. We discover a manhole that has been left agape for a tiny creature to wander out of the sewers. As we inform the old lady that we've dealt with a creature that was terrorizing her and her cat, she gives us a book. Obviously, Espen has nothing to do with it, so he immediately tosses over his shoulder for Volker to pick it up. But as we return home, kind of late at night, Espen, the two charismatic people of the party, decide to do the best thing out of a bad situation and scream for 10 minutes at a manhole, "Help! I'm being open!" Calm emotions had to be cast, otherwise bad things would have happened. But as it is, the manhole that is in Troll Skull Alley is secure for the time being. And by secure, I mean it isn't, but it has a screaming word. The next day, we've been asked by Grimm to assist him with his newfound duty to essentially find, what's it, like a killer, right? Give me a second. Check my notes. Before that, Volker had another dream or nightmare. I'm still sitting on that one. Of everything and everywhere and himself and the coin that he branded as he became a diviner being lit aflame. They spoke about dreams. They spoke about, stuff. And then we got visited by an old acquaintance, Mr. Renier. Was it Renier or Renier? I keep forgetting his name.
Renier.
He essentially paid a large sum of money, 300 gold, if I remember correctly, to essentially kickstart Troll Skull into a proper tavern. With that, Espen and Hansem had a mental conversation of which it was one-sided because Espen didn't know that he could reply through his mind. Of which it started the further conversation between Hansem and Volker, of which he essentially mentioned to him and to Espen that while he is not certain about it, he believes that any of the two could be possibly, hopefully not, afflicted by a tadpole in their brain that may or may not eventually consume them into a mind flayer. So far, the only conclusion it is that it might be under their best efforts to maybe consult a higher holy man and see if they could remove the parasite from their head should they have one. But after that, we began helping Grim doing no. We half of the party decided to pay the contractors, and essentially we are, if I'm not wrong, in a 2-day wait for us to get the materials and everything, and after that we're gonna have to find people to work for us, and then we are gonna be able to start working. Well, have the inn provide money for us. And after that, we've been tasked to find the Black Viper. So we're aiding Grim in finding out this masked, probably noble woman, maybe, that could have been the twin, if I'm not wrong. And that's... So we had a conversation with the press, of which Graham almost intimidated into fessing up private information that they knew. And if I'm not wrong, that's pretty much the most of it.
We almost got an ad in the paper.
Oh yeah, the parties. One of the two parties, Black Hole, decided to almost spend. How much was it? Like 300 gold. Oh, you know, when we're barely scraping by for the contractors. But as far as I remember, that's where we left.
Okay. Well done. Inspiration for you, sir. Not that you need the extra rerolls, but you know,
well, you know, you never know. I mean, every other session I'm rolling a nat 1 for the recap.
That's true. That's true. Okay. So, I'm going to bring you all back into this world that we are in. Today is the 9th day of Marpanoth. With that, it is later midday, think just past lunchtime, with you've been around the city, but at the moment you are with, some of you are with Grim, who, going forward from where you had left off, he is at a library. Specifically, a library that it has records of nobility. Who would be with Grim at this point?
I mean, if we're going to a library, I feel like I should be there.
Okay, Volker.
As it is, I don't have anything planned for today, so I can dedicate helping Grim.
Yes. So is it just Volker with Grim?
I would not go with them to the library. So.
All right.
Isn't this a library of just like personal records?
This would be that's a good question. You know what? If you're looking specifically for personal records, it would make more sense for you to go to adjacent to a library, more like what would that be? Oh, like a city hall almost, yeah, where records are kept and whatnot, where you're able to use your rank and influence to get this information. So that would make more sense. All right. Well, for those of you who are not with Grim, so that being Esmond, Enzim, and Kia, go ahead and while I talked through this scene with them, think about what you might be filling your time with. Whether that be pursuing some art, searching out somebody, or you guys, I mean, just as a reminder, you're going to need somebody to man the inn.
Hey, maybe the private investigator is done private investigating right now.
That's exactly what I'm going for.
Okay. So, Grim, as you and Volker walk into the courthouse and you go to requisition these materials. I'm going to need a check from you.
A check.
In this, a check, yes, to see how much your influence is going to get you. Let's say that this can be your choice, either a persuasion check or an investigation check from you.
I'm good on investigations.
It's definitely gonna be persuasion. Do I get any
We have
bonus
to choose
based
either
off
or?
my
Either or.
based off my standing with the gauntlet?
With this, the persuasion, the reason why you're able to persuade is because of your standing, but Volker can provide you advantage with his help.
Okay. I assume I have advantage then, Volker.
Yeah. I hope it's better than. I don't trust your rolls because you always roll like shit. But
24.
hey,
Oh, to prove you wrong. You come in with the confidence and ease of somebody who belongs there, and with Volker's help with the right verbiage to use, you were able to get the information you were looking for. What information are you looking for?
this is your case, buddy. I'll let you choose the. How many questions do you get?
I'm looking specifically for records of, I would say, births and death for noble families, specifically the Castellanter
Of course.
family, or
Yeah.
that like official records of births,
Absolutely.
deaths, lineage, that kind of thing.
Oh, yes. So, the Castellanter family. The patriarch of the Castellanter family is Victoro, Victor. He is a half-elf of middle age at this point.
Wait,
He-
Victor?
Oro,
Oh, there we
Victoro.
go.
Yep. I missed out that last O.
I was like, that's just Victor.
Victoro.
Doctor.
And his wife, Amalia, Ammalia, a human. They lead the Castellanter noble family. You look up births and deaths. So they're the household, the noble lineage was passed on to Victoro after his father died in his mid-60s. But Victoro and Amalia, both living, have had 3 children. Their 3 children, names Osvaldo and 2 younger twins, Terenzio and Elzarina. Osvaldo died a mysterious death when he was young, and their twins are still 7 years old. As for excess family, they have cousins, but as for immediate family, it seems both Amalia and Rectavo were only children.
You're gonna have to get me those names in chat.
Yes, sir, man.
Yeah, I need those as well.
All right, I will go ahead and send them to chat. All right. Amalia and Victoro, parents. Oldest dead child, Osvaldo. Twin children, Terenzio and Elzarina.
And then you said that they don't have any like they have cousins, but that's the closest relatives they have.
Correct. Immediate siblings are non-existent.
Did it say when Osvaldo died?
When he died,
Like how old he was when he died? I don't really care about years and stuff, but like how old he was when he died.
He died at the age of 10.
Does it say what he died of?
A mysterious
broken
illness.
heart.
It took upon him suddenly, quick enough that no clerics were able to aid them.
Must have been swift. Are we looking for like a nobleman or like what were the status?
What do you mean?
I might be drawing a blank, but like, did it mention like on the description from the I don't know why I'm drawing like they were like noble people or like people of wealth. I don't know why. I could be, you know, fucking shit up in my head. My notes are not good.
No worries. These statistics that they're getting are more so from like a death certificate and a short doctor's note or something along those lines. So there's not much more information to give about those.
And how long ago did he die? Like, was it like? I assume it wasn't recent.
How long ago did he die? Excellent question. Let me see if I can find that out.
I don't need an exact answer. What I'm getting after is it possible that the person who was involved in his burial is still around?
The person involved in his burial?
Or I assume there's some sort of funeral rite that would have been performed. Maybe not from an undertaker, but like a cleric of some kind probably performed some kind of funeral rite. I want to see if I can find them.
I would assume they have either like clerics be using gentle repose or like any other ceremonial, right?
Well, the ceremony was performed 3 years ago, and the ceremony was put on by a cleric who served. Let's see. I need to find a death god that exists in the Faerun universe. I think Kelemvor is Kelemvor. Yes, the Lord of the Dead. Is that right? Huge plane.
I also will need that spelled.
A cleric who serves Kelemvor. I'll get you a name for the cleric. This cleric his name would be Darius. Darius Fleetfoot.
A halfling?
Yes. You can recognize a halfling's surname.
Sorry, I'm writing lots of things down here.
No worries.
I recognize the surname.
No, your halfling fellow Volker would recognize Fleetfoot as a halfling surname.
Excellent.
Would that be something that happened in Waterdeep? Would Grim know if there is a temple to the Death God, or I guess probably not a temple, but maybe like a cemetery dedicated to the Death God, or something associated with him?
Yes. We have a city of the dead in this fucking town, so
yes, there's absolutely a place dedicated to the god of the dead, and you can presume that you would find Darius Fleetfoot there. And so you two head to this temple of the death god. This it is established in the city of the dead as this temple and its clerics and acolytes oversee the city of the dead, the cemeteries, the mausoleums, the graves of the many denizens of this place. And so you find yourself entering into this solemn place.
I have a question, Mr. DM.
What is your question?
Are there any customs that I'm willing to roll for relation or something like, but are there any customs that would be like appropriate to follow in this ward of the city? The city, the ward of the dead?
In this, as in what would be a custom?
Customary to do something or abstain from doing something or to wear something or the likes in this area. To be like more presentable or something, like a tradition in this area.
Due to the varied cultural presence in the city, it would make sense to me that it wouldn't be something specific that you would do for the general city. It would be more so cultural to yourself. So what would be a halfling's tendency towards how you see and treat the dead, that would be something that you would do rather than put on a sash or something. Whereas maybe a Goliath would see death, particularly a death fighting some illness or a battle, as something honorable and would celebrate. So it would depend on the culture that you come from and how you approach this place.
All right. But the city itself doesn't impose.
No.
All right. Having this, Skyrim music is inspiring me in that aspect.
Hello, Skydew.
That is right. And so you enter into this place. And you see a couple of these acolytes and clerics. But you look ahead and you see two figures that stand out to you. You see a halfling who appears to be preparing a what looks to be some funeral rites alongside a Goliath.
Whoa, it's just a mirror match?
Looks like it.
Damn.
Is there a reception area? Purgatory? I don't know. Some kind of waiting room?
There's purgatory they can send you.
Perfect. Grim would not want to disturb their funeral rites, but he would like to talk to the halfling when his job is completed.
Absolutely. You wait, give enough time, and so the two of them, after performing these funeral rites, and there seems to be a few people with darker clothing, shawls around their shoulders and heads, and solemnly bow and offer up prayers and incense before the two walk down and look like they're heading out door, but they'll be passing their location, clearly having finished the rites.
Do they just leave?
Look like they're passing by you. They don't know that you're waiting for them.
We should intercept them.
Well, goodness, I'm dying. While we were waiting, I would have talked to an available attendant to ascertain if that was, in fact, the halfling in question.
You will intercept an acolyte, and the woman listens to your question. Was that halfling Darius Fleetfoot? She shakes her head. No. Darius Fleetfoot is the Goliath.
Interesting. I would, so I would thank her, and then I would catch them as they go by.
It's
And
probably
you do.
not unheard of to have a halfling with a giant.
As the two of them turn to look at you, the Goliath bows his head slightly, and you can see that he's got a gray paint. Normally, the Goliath markings and cultural markings, they tend to have more of that bluish tint or black or something, but it looks like his markings have been overlaid with gray ink and paint, and in much more of a solemn way presents himself as he says, "Yes, I am Darius Fleetfoot. How may I be of service?"
I have some questions to ask you, when you're free, of course, in regards to some funeral that you oversaw several years ago.
He nods his head, waves his hand, allowing the halfling to continue walking off, as he says, "I have overseen the funeral rites of many individuals. You will have to be much more specific than that, officer."
I would say I'm specifically interested in the funeral which you performed for Osvaldo Castellanter.
Ah, the noble's child. It is a shame for one to have been cut down by this world so soon. What is your question?
It has come to the attention of the Order that there are certain rumors circulating about the return of a certain dubious character, who, as the rumor would say, is a member of the Castellanter family or one who passed away. I wanted to talk to you about the circumstances of Osvaldo's death and just confirm that as it is recorded, he did in fact die of a sudden illness, and maybe get some more background or more context as to the nature of his passing.
I see. If my memory serves me correctly, his death was tragic and sudden. It seemed that whatever illness affected him within his mind, for there were no outward appearance of injury. As for the assuredness of his death, yes, I can assure you, he did pass. Now, your question about... Repeat the remnants of your question.
Hang on, let me catch up on typing.
Mm-hmm.
You said that he didn't show any signs of illness until it was too late, or outward signs of illness.
Something happened in his mind and then he died. Was it some sort of early onset dementia, or what type of mental affliction was it?
Unfortunately, his parents, as distraught as they were, did not provide much more info, for they were just as surprised.
Were there any other at this time have since there been any deaths of similar of a similar nature? Was this thing he died of possibly transmitted in any way, or maybe a genetic issue with just him?
It is my impression, what I have heard is, no, there have not been any Halloween deaths as such, unless there is something that you know that I do not.
Unless my associate has further questions for you, I think that answers the questions I needed to ask.
Absolutely. And you, young one, did you have any questions that you needed of me? As he looks at you, Volker.
In regards to this case, not particularly. Though, I would be curious to... Do you tend this ward alone, or do you have assistance?
There are many within my order that attend this place alongside me.
I see. Out of character, Volker would have been interested to pay tribute to the elf that we tried to essentially exorcise. So I would be interested to see if they have like a gravestone. This man, this elven man. I forgot his name. Yeah. I have it written down, but
it's also written down somewhere here. Elf, maybe.
It's an elf. But nothing that I need in regards to Grimm's case.
No. Being from a noble household, the mausoleum he's kept in is not visitable by the general public.
We have to break in. Oh well.
Yeah, I believe that we've taken a lot of time on this. I want to move on to the other players for a bit.
What is the goon party doing?
Sounds like you had a plan of what you'd like to do.
Yes, I would like to go back to the private investigator.
Would you like some help?
If you want to come.
Oh, I've got nothing else better to do today.
Let's go. And I'm going to the Tiger's Eye.
The Tiger's Eye. To see none other than Vincent Trench. You knock upon his door, and just about a moment, and the door opens, allowing candle smoke to escape, as you are met with the poised face of Mr. Trench himself.
I sort of bow a little bit, but also bow down but wave at him. Right, I'm here to see if you've had any information on those names I gave you. Or kids.
Yes, Mr. Radbadas. Come in, please.
Morning.
He gestures in.
And I point at
Esben.
I point at Esben and go, "This is Esben."
Good morning.
I'm aware. Good morning. He bows his head slightly. Allow me to show you to my study.
Do you know of me?
I make it my business.
Well, hopefully you're not the only one. Anyway, he just walks right in.
He leads you to a small study. There's neat bookshelves with the books all placed seemingly exactly where they should be. Some are placed in color coordination, and yet, funnily enough, also alphabeticalized. I couldn't say that. That's hard to say. Alphabetized. That's the right word. It's simultaneously color coordinated and alphabetized, and all of the pillows are perfectly aligned on couch and separate sitting chair. There's a small hearth with a fire, and it looks like the wood is neatly stacked and is burning perfectly so that it burns to the outsides at an even way. Everything is in order as he sets you down. May I get you some tea?
I'd like that.
For sure, I'd love some tea right now.
Do you prefer green or black tea?
I'll just take tea. I don't care.
Black.
Black it is.
Sounds good. And so he comes back with the tea. As he sets it down, he sets himself into the sitting chair, looking over at you guys as if not directly facing the couch, but instead angled towards the small hearth. As he pulls out a small notebook, flips over to a page, takes a sip of tea, and then says, "Yes, the names you gave me. Kelso Fiddlewick, Dasher Snowbeetle, Danica Fiddlewick, which I found was Kelso's younger sister, and Bryn Hilltopple. All of these happenings have a darker secret to themselves, which I found out quite easily. Are you aware that these belong to a gang?"
No.
Which gang exactly?
It's a small gang that, from how I understand, are attempting to make their name in the city. Their name go by the Shard Shunners. It is purely made up of halfling were-rats.
Wait.
Were-rats.
What's a were-rat?
A were-rat. Are you aware of the throat affliction?
Orcs, when people turn into werewolves in books and stories and things?
Yes.
Right. So you're telling me that's not real, and that instead they turn into were-rats?
I don't prefer the term lycanthrope, for lycan refers to more of the canine. No, these halflings take on a rodent form. Yes.
Right.
They are able to shift at will.
Okay. Did not know that. That's good to know.
That is what I found out about them. Yes?
Do you know what the general population thinks of them? What do they know?
If you are aware that someone can turn into a rat, what is your opinion of them?
I mean, I can speak with people's minds, so I think it's a little dirties, but cool.
I can assure you, not everyone shares your optimism.
Is there a reason to not trust a were-rat?
To not trust a were-rat? I will leave that up to you. You asked me to investigate these. They are part of a gang of were-rats. Take that as you will, I believe, but I'm not the one who is to imbue you with an opinion of these folks.
Well, I mean, you just said that there was a general opinion of these kinds of people, right?
I believe Master Radabas asked me what the general opinion of them was. I do believe that most individuals in this city would not like to see a rat in their premises, particularly a rat with the intelligence of the typical humanoid.
Yeah, okay, you might get me there. That might freak people out.
Indeed.
Right. Anything else we should know?
What I found out is that as a gang, they take payments to cause mischief. At the moment, at least. I imagine they are trying to lay low enough that they don't cause, well, any untoward attention towards them.
Right. So they take monies and cause mischief. That sounds like rat people, I guess.
Does that?
Okay. Perfect for folks who grew up on the street, yes? He looks directly at you, Esmond.
What are you insinuating with that?
I'm insinuating that I'm sure you have a heart for the folks on the street, yes?
Yes, I would say so.
Yes. I believe that I have provided you with information that matches the payment that you provided. Would you agree with me?
I'd think so. But they use my first PI, so I also know what they normally charge.
I am the best at what I do.
Well, then Odd says it's a fair exchange of goods and services and money.
Yes. I hope you'll keep in mind for future needs as I ever look for work.
Right. Well, at the moment, I don't think we have anything for you to look at. Thus, I don't got any goals for you to look at.
Oh, well, I'm kind of... How much for an investigation?
How much for an investigation? For the typical investigation, I charge 50 gold pieces. If it is something of a special sort that might take more time and energy, I might charge more.
Right, okay. Well, I definitely don't have that kind of money for now, but, have you heard of these weird eyeball things coming out of the sewers recently?
I've heard of the eyeball things coming out of the sewers. I believe you made quite a stir at the wazoo, did you not?
How long ago was it, out of character, how long ago was it since we were there? Like, was it just a day ago?
At the wazoo? This morning.
Yeah, this morning. Okay, that's what I thought. I mean, we talked about it this morning at the wazoo. How did you know about that?
He's good at what he does.
I am the best at what I do.
Right. Okay. Either way, so you've heard about it, then, one way or another.
I have.
Do you know anything about this before the wazoo talk, or is it brand new to you?
I do.
I'm assuming if you have information, it's not going to be given freely.
You are correct.
Right. How much would that be?
That will cost you more due to the nature of the information. 100 gold pieces.
Right. Well, we don't have much money on that right now. Maybe in the future, but we're both kind of broke.
I mean, we did save this street from them, so he's got that going for us.
Right. I don't know if you travel through sewers all that often. Just don't go through the great outback over here.
I heard your addition. Quite rude of you, considering that there are other folks who live upon this street.
Well, I figured staying alive was worth 10 minutes of no sleeps.
Staying alive is worth 10 minutes of no sleep. Well, you may be correct. Perhaps, due to some of the skill upon this street, staying alive won't be an issue. Ah, well, I hope you enjoyed your tea. I do have more investigations to get to, so I hope that information provided you everything you needed. Thank you for your time.
Right. Well, thanks for the information. You have a good day.
Anytime. You too, Espen. You too. He stands up and leads you both to the door and escorts you out.
As we get out, Esmond's going to look over at Handsome. I'm not talking to him ever again. That's the last time.
Why is that? He's kind of cool.
I don't like him.
Right. I guess that's fair.
Well, he did help one way or another. I guess I can't fault him for that, but something about him I just don't like.
Right, but he does knows his things. And
right, well, if anything needs to be done, I'll let you talk to him from here on.
Oz can do it. And with that, I will make my way back to the manor. Actually, before I do that, I'm gonna go swing over to the sewer access and see if it's anything has happened around the sewer, and then I'll go back.
I think everybody would know.
And whole cover is still there.
Excellent. Then
still closed, I hope.
Now, yeah, let's get to Kia. I've kept you in the dark for nearly an hour now, so
That's okay. Kia kind of stayed back that afternoon, kind of hold herself up just for a little bit to respond to the letter that she received from under the door. Let me find it. From Elheen.
yes.
Kind of responding back, being very selective about what she was writing back in terms of their adventures, mainly emphasizing what she's been learning rather than some of the dangers they've encountered.
Yes.
And then that would just be the first thing she does, is write that letter.
Absolutely.
Have we done the delivery run for a shady merchant yet with the barn?
Yes, that was
Okay.
that was the I believe the shady merchant was what Henzim did.
Okay, because I wrote down there was some delivery run, but I didn't write down the name of the guy, so I just wanted to make sure I wasn't picking up a job already done.
Sounds good.
I did not have a backup plan.
Well, no, you can absolutely, if you want to, rather than having a specific task, considering your position your walk of life, you could absolutely go out into the city to walk your path, basically as a way of mercy monk. Something that you've read is the distinctive mask and just the being, how do I describe this? Say that again.
Spooky.
Being spooky, yeah, no. Wearing the mask the way you do and carrying yourself, you would draw attention for sure, But if you like said, hey, went to a house of healing and provided services there, you could absolutely bring in not a lot of money, but still you could start applying your craft, applying this energy into if you want to focus on that healing aspect of your merciful walk, or let's say that you find it is important that you bring the other side, the hurt, that you can go bring the hurt down on people who deserve it in your belief. That is one of the ways. The way of mercy is that it is not passion. I don't know. How would you do this? Because some monks would choose to be devoid of passion, devoid of belief of moral, and just approach situations with either what deserves my mercy, what deserves my wrath, what deserves this. How would you approach this way? Or is this something that you would explore? That was a lot of talking. Digest that as you will.
I feel like this is definitely something Kia would explore. She tends to be more... I'm trying to figure out the right word. Kind-hearted. However, she knows that in choosing this path, she will have to start to discern when her skills should be applied in terms of like beyond healing. Yeah. So I think that would be something that she would have to start kind of discovering as she goes. But knowing her right now in her journey, she would probably be going out. I like the idea of like going to the House of Healing or like a temple. Because I'm assuming that's where maybe some people go for aid. And see if that's where she could start to practice a little bit more and offer her service.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely. I'll give you a couple of scenarios just to help you develop this, okay? So, when you go to the way of mercy, and when you go to the healing house, the House of Healing, you obviously this is a city and a lot happens, and this is also fantasy. This is D&D, which means that this is going to make sense despite the fact that we've been playing this a lot more real. Is in the House of Healing, you offer your services and they accept it because, hey, this is their people always get hurt. People always need healing. But in this situation, you find a wounded person, and it is revealed to you that this is a wounded assassin who is straight up bleeding out from a gut wound. And as you approach to help to stabilize it, maybe you can recognize his face. He is a known killer wanted for murder. And in this point, a very serious decision for you is that right now, the healers in this house, there are some clerics who could provide healing, but there are only a few. Most of the people here are more so just medics who can provide first aid, can provide that sort of help. In this moment, you could grant him mercy and heal him, or you could withhold your aid and let justice take its course. What would you choose to do?
I gotta take a second to think.
No worries. It is
probably by the time I'm done thinking, he's dead. I don't know.
Please,
in this moment, like it is an extreme.
I need to take a second. Roll another death save.
No worries. I sprung this on you, which hey, no worries about that. I want you to have this time to develop this belief, this way of how will you approach.
Does a murderer deserve the mercy to carry on living, or do they deserve to die from a gut wound?
Yes.
Would this gut wound seem like something that she has the capability to heal? I don't know if you've already mentioned that.
Yes.
I mean, it's a 1d6 plus 3. That's on average twice the HP of a commoner.
So my dilemma, this is Kia's mind's kind of what she's going through probably as I'm sitting here trying to think of what she would do. Does he seem she's trying to be objective in this situation, kind of like mercy or justice, however, this is kind of all part of her journey, is kind of discovering this. So as she watches this assassin, does he seem at all remorseful? Does he seem like, what's the word? Like what's his demeanor? Like,
Yeah, give me an insight check. And let me know what you get.
23.
23.
What the fuck was the roll?
Within his eyes, you are able to get an incredible roll. And within his eyes, you are able to read at its very core, as in this is a hardened assassin, a hardened man who he has given up on life. This guy, he's a murderer. He has murdered. He's wanted for murder. And you can see he knows the depth of his wound. He knows that this is the end, and there is sadness. You see just this innate sadness and hopelessness in his eyes.
I feel when artery. Sarah.
I guess in this case, seeing like this sense of hopelessness, and I'm going to assume that this happens like as he's like, I guess, bleeding out, and so not quite totally coherent.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I got distracted there. Someone was trying to talk to me.
That's okay.
She would probably kneel down next to him and kind of get on his level and probably say something along the lines of, I have the not skill. All words just like totally like I can no longer. What's the word I'm looking for?
Ability?
Yeah, I was thinking skill. Skill just didn't seem right. She kind of gets down on his level and goes, I have the ability to ease your pain. However, that can happen one of two ways. And she's hoping he's coherent enough to pick up kind of the underlying meaning as she says this.
Yeah, give me just a straight charisma roll.
$15.
15.
That's way above average.
Now I'm going to roll a d20. Okay. And he'll respond with what I have set. He'll look at you, and with light fading from his eyes, he says, "Help me." And there's a spark of hope.
She would put her hand kind of over his in this moment. She's feeling quite conflicted inside as to what she should do. However, she does feel a stronger draw to heal him in this moment. Maybe this will come back and bite her later. However, in this moment in her journey, she would choose to heal this assassin.
Okay. As you channel this natural energy, this energy from yourself, you pump it, you place it over the wound, and although the blood coats your hand, the moisture cooling as the blood dries, you stitch together his arteries with just your mind. Stitch together the severed organs and arteries just enough to stabilize him. And you heal him. And the relief is immediately evident. And you can see his eyes roll back into his head as the pain, which has been so much, is finally gone. He's able to rest. And he falls asleep. And so in this moment, perhaps this helps develop your concept of what is mercy. What does it mean for you? And so we'll move on back
Could
to...
I
Yes,
add
absolutely.
one more thing? I don't know if this is in character for a Way of Mercy monk.
Yeah.
Do they leave things behind? Because he's unconscious, and I'm assuming she's not going to be there when he wakes up.
Probably not. That is, it doesn't seem like there was anything specific that any one Way of Mercy monk left behind. Everyone chose to walk this path in their own way, in a way that fit their understanding of life, of what does it mean to provide a mercy to someone. And so for you can choose to leave something behind if you would like. Do you have an idea, or do you need ideas?
I kind of have an idea, but if you have any ideas, maybe we could merge.
No, I was just going to come up with something on the spot.
Unoriginal.
So what's your idea?
In this case, she was thinking of leaving she keeps a notebook in her pocket, pulling out her notebook and leaving a small note for him. Considering in this case she knows his background, I don't know if this is something that would be outstepping her bounds, but then maybe she might stop doing this as her journey progresses. But along the lines of you have kind of felt what you've inflicted on others. Let this be your second chance, or something. Not maybe threatening, but not threatening, but
ooh,
just something to leave him, because she recognized him, you said, as an assassin.
Yes.
Let this be your second chance.
Okay. No, I like that. I like that a lot. So, you leave that and you continue on your way. Thank you very much, Kia. Back to Grim and Volker. You guys have gained this information about the Castellantiers. Grim, is there anywhere else or anything else that you would want to do?
As I leave the temple, I would drop, hang on, I gotta find how much money I have here. I would drop 5 copper pieces in there. I assume they have like a place for donations.
They absolutely do, yes.
I'll drop a silver.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so I put 5 copper pieces in their donation box.
Real quick, what sort of information are you still looking for?
Well, I was hoping to come across information, regarding the death of their child, possibly. This rumor started somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to track down anything that, might be related to them having a child that had died or something. But what it sounds like to me is that their child is actually dead. We've chased that that rumor kind of as far as we can. I think the next step might be to go talk to the Castellanters themselves and see what they know about this rumor, since it's a rumor concerning them that, as far as I can tell through methods outside the rumor mill, I mean, I assume that, pretty good records of births and stuff would be kept, and even if a child were, estranged from their family, the record of their birth or death wouldn't be expunged. So, as far as I can tell, the only relation to the Castellanter family that this story has is just the rumor mill. There's nothing really substantial backing it up. And so the next step is to go talk to the Castellanters and see if they have any idea how this started, how this came about, or what they know.
Absolutely. So you two head to the Castellanter villa. You approach this walled space, and you can see at the gate there are 2 posted guards for the Castellanters themselves. And the Castellanter's villa, its stark white walls and gleaming crimson roof and turrets stand out even among the other opulent estates of the Sea Ward. It is a 3-story mansion that lies in the midst of picturesque green gardens dappled with hedges and water features. The estate is surrounded by a tall white brick wall with a single wrought iron gate as an entrance. The Castellanter family crest, a green Y overlapping a stylized goose being fed, is emblazoned on the gate, with the armored guards that stand at attention on either side. As you approach, both of the guards, who are human, are outfitted in livery that bears the crest of the House Castellanter, and one of them greets you. "Good day to you."
Hello. I am seeking an audience with actually, hold on a second. I'm back up really quick. I'm reading my notes again. I'm realizing that the reference was to a sister of Amelia.
Yes, an evil twin sister.
There was no record of that in the, or I guess I didn't track that down in the library, did I?
You didn't find, like, it specifically, you found that both Amelia and Victoro were both only children. So I'm going to give you
Gotcha.
Give me an investigation check. Volker, either you or Volker give it to me, and you can give each other help.
I'll rather take the help action on that one, sir.
I'll help.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to help Flippy on that one.
Sounds good.
Yes, sir. Second. Advantage him, because I don't want to re-roll that shit again for misclicking. Investigation, you said, right?
Investigation.
Bam. 23.
Excellent. Good thing you had advantage. You, with your day-long investigation, walking around, investing in the annals, and as you consider going to speak with the Castellanches themselves, upon further collusion between the two of you, you conclude that it is just that, the rumor mill. It appears that perhaps this man at the Waterdeep Wazoo is just providing something to write about with no substance.
So is it more like a misdirection for them to do the killings, or is this like a boogeyman that doesn't exist?
This is like, well, there are still killings going along.
Yeah, the robberies actually happened, correct?
Robberies, not killings.
There were actual
right?
robberies.
Yes, but no such person exists. There is no evil twin sister of Amalia Castellanti.
So, what are we to report to the helm? That while those robberies still exist, it's just a boogeyman? Or like a face put onto like a crime that nobody knows the lead? What it would be like the description that we're given? That we are given?
I would say that most likely the Castellanters have nothing to do with this. And that the whole rumor of Amalia's evil twin, that's all made up to make
put a face on the crime.
Put a face on the crime. I think there's two options. One, we go and we talk to the Gauntlet, and we let them know what we've discovered, and that we suspect that the Castellanters are not involved in this at all. The other option is we try and look into Glaxley Rutherbust, the editor of the Waterdeep Wazoo, because there's a possibility that he started this rumor because he is somehow involved or knows something and is trying to throw up a smokescreen to let this kind of activity continue.
To misdirect the people that are like Grim, that are trying to, what's the word? Find more about it.
Yes. So putting them on the dead end investigation for a person that doesn't exist is a great way for them to, waste time and throw people off their trail and throw suspicion of the general public in a different direction.
Both ideas seem quite good to, trail up on. Okay. This is your case, though, so which one do you decide to,
Let's go back to the order.
All right.
So Volker and I will, instead of going to the Castellanters, we will go to the Gauntlet headquarters.
Okay. You do
so. And I will talk to, I can't remember her name. It's back in my notes somewhere.
Ava Bellabranta. Yes. So you provide your report, and she says, I hoped it was not such, because it means we must continue our investigation elsewhere, but it sounds like This newspaper man is behaving as such. A newspaper man who wants to dictate anything but true news. Thank you for
Oh
your
my
work,
God.
Grim. I appreciate this, and we will get to the bottom of these robberies, but you helped us chase down a lead. Well, although it was nothing, at least we know where not to look now.
Did I would tell her about my possible theory that the editor might know more than he's letting on and could be the source of these rumors. Or he's maybe the source, but it is possible that the reason he is sourcing these rumors is to cover up his knowledge of some illicit activity.
Cities, when we interrogated them, they were quite dodgy about the subject, claiming they were trying to maintain a aspect of mystery to make it so that their papers sell. They did not want to disclose what they, and he quotes unquote, knew.
Interesting. I'll put a man on the job. You've done your work here. I'll make sure that this newspaper man, this Gately, is not into more serious business. I doubt so, as he's... Well, I doubt so. That being said, I'll take your advice into consideration. I'll put a man on him to trail him and ensure that he's not just trying to get business. Thank you for your work, Grim. And you are, young man?
I am Volker Galdakan.
Volker.
I myself I'm a watchful order.
You're one of the users. Well, Volker Galdakan, we will keep your name in our records as someone who is helpful to the Order. Grim, thank you for your help here. We will let you know when you are required to be back on duty. However, you, sir, have had a busy few weeks. Take some time off.
Oh my God, is he getting paid time off?
Take some unpaid time off.
Oh no!
You just
Why did
had
you
to open
say
your mouth.
anything? Let me in.
Oh, and there went my salary for 3 weeks. Oh boy. Grim would thank her and head out. I assume he also would probably get some form of payment for several days.
You will hope so.
Well, look, with you around, I can't be sure of anything.
Yes, you do. You receive 50 gold pieces for your work.
Nice.
And you go up one more renown in the Order of the Gauntlet. And Volker, you gain a renown in the Order of the Gauntlet. For your help.
Yes.
You'll need to send me the details of that.
At the moment, you do not receive any promotion. It is just renown for the time being.
Oh, so my rank is the same, but my renown goes up.
Correct.
Gotcha.
You gain experience. Okay. I would assume that given that I am not a part of the Order, I will not be gaining a title. I'm just seeing on a better light.
If you continue this way, you might be offered, but at the time, it is just you are favorably seen.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
So, where do you guys head after this?
I would be interested in looking at a blue dragonborn.
A blue dragonborn.
You talking about the child?
Yes.
Gotcha.
The child. Remind me this blue dragonborn child.
The one that stole the
had
violin, or not the violin, but the
It was a viol.
it was a viol.
So
Okay.
you're planning to head to the market to look for this. At this point, it is late afternoon, early evening.
Volker's going nighttime shopping.
Well, I mean, we know his quote-unquote hiding spot. So, worst come if I don't see him in the trade district, I can probably go find him in his hideout.
The operative word.
I never speak with certainties.
Give me a perception check as you go to look for him.
Oh boy, not my strongest forte.
That's okay. You have a natural 1.
I'm not gonna use that on myself, sir. Are you insane?
Yeah.
I see. We're gonna be hiring the rats, so it's like the rats makes you insane.
Rats?
All right.
They drive me crazy.
Oh,
That was crazy once.
A 22% check. As you head with that, you go to the market and you look for this blue dragonborn. And how much time do you approximately spend here?
I would still like to return by. I still plan on using some of my free time to what's the word? To keep on carving stuff, but I wish to spend some time. Obviously, I'm not gonna stay like 10 minutes or so. I'm willing to give it some time. Okay, I guess an hour.
Yeah. With an hour, you are certain that it looks like now that his hiding spot was, declared, it looks like he has chosen to vacate the area and taken up space elsewhere.
So he's not to be seen.
You do not find him. He is not to be seen, no.
Oh boy. Oh well. Motherfucker, I wanted to get my thieves' tools. No! Oh well. Then
I wouldn't worry about it too much, Flippy. I'm sure we'll have a bunch of were-rats could probably get you those thieves' tools.
Bro, I was thinking about hiring them. Bunch of rats running the tavern.
I want to hire them because they have multiple purposes. We can have them as, as they try to lay down, and we have a power play that we're like, we know what you are, we know what you guys actually are. Gang and, were creatures.
And even more importantly, we can use them as the beginnings of a spy network.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking about. It's like they can provide work for us in the tavern. And
in Grimm's mind, how ethical is this? If the Order ever found out about this?
In Grimm's mind, how ethical it is? You tell me.
No, just like what is the Order's feelings on this kind of shenanigan?
All right, the Order of the Gauntlet is a lawful good group of typically warriors who worship the gods of Helm, Torm, or Tyr, who are gods of justice, of righteousness, of let's
sounds very law-based.
I'm not so sure this is gonna go over super well with the bosses.
We just don't tell Grimm what their real nature is, and nobody's ever the wiser.
Meanwhile, those guys are at the very least chaotic.
Yeah, chaotic neutral, I'd say. Willing to work, but also put in money. Chaotic neutral. Which is exactly my character, so it jives perfectly.
I think I'm also chaotic neutral.
So everybody, you all meet back up at the Troll Skull Manor, and you can talk to each other now.
I tell them exactly what Esben and I found out at the Tiger's Eye.
Right, so, do that with what you will. Honestly, I don't see a reason not to hire them.
I don't either. Gentlemen, I will. Killing myself now. I'm out of shredded cheese.
I knew they were up to something. I was not expecting that, but are they like murderers or some sort, or just mischievous?
Specifically, what we was told is that they use golds for pranks or mischief, but I didn't get the feelings like they was killing people.
I would think that would have been something that they would have told us, or that whatever his name is would have told us ahead of time. At least if he found anything like that.
Man. This city is full of mischievous people. As long as we know what we're working with ahead of time and we let them know that we know, so they don't try anything funny with us. I don't mind having some of my kin to work with, even if they can change at a moment's notice.
I mean, based off of what we were told, they have control over that shift, right?
That's what they said. He said. That's what was said, yeah.
As long as they're at least honest with us when we kind of give them information, I think that's fine.
But it would be wise to let them know that we know their scheme.
Well, of course. I'm not saying we don't. But, people who live on the streets, they usually just need some assistance. A little bit of work here and there is not going to do anything horrible.
No.
In fact, it might actually help them out.
No, and having people on the street that can turn into inconspicuous creatures, that could be of use. Should we require...
What does that have to do with anything?
Should we require more information? We could utilize them that way too.
You saying this in front of Grim?
I don't know if we are all there or not.
Well, you were with Grim, so if you're here, he's probably here too.
Then I will abstain from saying
something else.
Then I will abstain from saying that part, but I didn't know if he was with us or not.
Right.
Fair.
If you guys
He didn't say anything.
The Evil's twin sisters.
It would seem that is not the case. Doesn't seem that they have a twin. So it's unlikely that they were the perpetrators of those crimes.
But don't you still got to find who's doing it?
The Order has taken it back under their personal control, and they will deal with it as they see fit. But for the time being, they've given me some leave to do with as I would like.
But what if you just went out and found out yourselves? Instead of waiting for them. You could go doze it, and be like, I'm this good, I'm big and powerful, and I knows what's going on.
It would be hard to find a particular criminal when we don't have any leads. As it is, the only lead that the order had was that it was, well, that we got was that it was a twin that doesn't exist.
Right, but I'm sure there's probably something that was missed or not noticed. They're a thief, right? What was stolen? Maybe there might be some correlation there.
It's possible. I suspect that I have nothing to back it up, but I suspect that there's a slim chance that the editor of the Waterdeep Wazoo might be in on it, because he's the one muddying the waters, so to speak.
Well, it's possible, but I've met 1,000 people like him. Most of them just want to get a story going, whatever makes them money.
He seemed awfully dodgy about his sources.
That's just to make you look official, trust me, I've seen it plenty of times. But it's possible, I guess, ultimately. This is the common thing I see.
Right. So what's the plans going forward?
Well, we will have to draw the attentions of the, in terms of, in general, I would say we had to draw the attentions of the halflings. Then after that, see how they work for us. And then, still, we should find more money. And the tavern is gonna be one way of earning it, but certain there's more things that we could do still.
Did they say how exactly to get in contact with them?
I mean, they were just out of character. They said that they were gonna be like in the area, that they would be noticeable to find.
They would check it. They would show up again. Yes, they would be in the area.
Why don't you put the help wanted sign in the window? That way they can come back.
Not a bad plan. I'll let you do the sign for us.
Alright, easy enough. It's just a few letters. We'll just grab like some random parchment and just put help wanted on it and then just stick it on the window.
Do I get to be cruel or not?
I don't know. Do you want to be cruel? You gonna use your nat 1?
This subclass is giving this man too much power.
I don't know what you're talking about, Storak. I simply don't understand what you're saying. But how would a nat 1 would look like, Mr. Esven, for a help wanted sign?
It wouldn't even be readable.
I'd like to say, like, maybe like the ink kind of like spills all over the paper, and so he tries to clean it up as best he can. So it just when you look at it from the outside perspective, it looks like it just says "help wanted."
Don't open that inside. How tragic. It was worth it.
And I'd like to say that probably Esmond probably doesn't really pay too much attention to it because he's like, yeah, that looks good. It's clean enough anyway.
It's like when you were typing Mert.
Yeah,
the other way around.
Exactly.
This man is not a man of details. Negative wisdom.
I love it.
So, Mr. DM, You mentioned to me that I should poke you at the hour 16 of working with the necklace.
Yes.
What do I do?
This will be another check with your tools.
All right. All right. Let's have a look. You said that it was a dexterity check, right?
I believe it is
with
your
proficiency.
Yeah, with proficiency.
All right, so I should probably give me 1 second. I'll write down a thing rather than just clicking a saving throw. Alchemy supplies would be like wood carving tools. Query attribute, proficiency. Right. And it will be with dexterity. Let's see how this plays. Hey, I don't even have to portent that shit. Or lucky that shit.
That is a major success.
Classic Volker, never needing to use his abilities.
I'm looking at my fucking lucky and it's still I'm full. I have recap inspo, I'm still full, and that's like shit. How is the necklace coming along?
It is incredible. This is an inspired work of art.
I modified the others, like last session. I modified the carbon project and I gave it a icon.
I see that. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. So you can go ahead and put those notes in.
I put what I rolled and I gave you like the question mark because I don't know what if it was like a success, major success, or what were the thresholds. I'm just gonna punch in the 16.
Yep. So the 20 is a major success.
16 hours. Put in major success 20. So far this fucking thing was like 2318, 2020.
Yep. You're just rolling very, very well.
How much effort do you think it's going to be taking for him to finish this project?
8 more hours.
Oh boy. All right.
Yep. 3 full days. Based on, just don't worry, it'll be a very, if you get another major success, it'll be a very, very nice thing. Okay. And so you all... Unless
before
there's anything else.
I was going to do so. After, everybody goes to their own rooms and, we are prepared to take a nap. I will be interested in going to Grimm's room, and I will knock on his door. Tuk, tuk,
tuk. Grim will open it up.
Hi, may I come in?
Sure.
Say, Grim. As of a couple of days now, I've been having this couple of dreams that have been staring me awake every morning. They seem to be relating about mostly it would seem myself and my surroundings engulfed in flames, and it would seem time running out. I know that you earned that through your hard efforts, but could I borrow your ring of fire protection for a moment or two? I feel bad omen coming my way.
I suppose if you think that is something that will protect you, you are welcome to borrow the ring.
It would be much appreciated, for I fear I'm kind of scared, if I'm not to lie. But I appreciate it. Anything that you need, I'll be most of service.
No, I don't need anything at the moment. Thank you for the offer, though.
And he nods at you. I will let you know as soon as I can return this item to you. And I would like to wear the ring before I go to bed.
Sounds good. And you attune to it. And everybody goes to sleep, goes to bed. Now, here's what we're going to do. Volker, the dreams that you have no longer are quite as vivid. All you see, no, you don't even see anything. It is in the dark that you just hear tick, tick, tick. The sound of a clock ticking. You feel heat. You hear the clock. And for this dream, you wake up when you hear the clock begin to ring. Now we're going to fast forward 2 days. That way, the work on the manor is done. And you
so will be my necklace.
Yes, so will your necklace. You will have all the supplies you need to start up your tavern. And so, in these 2 days, I'm going to go down the list. Just give me a quick, what do you think you did? So, Esben, in these 2 days, it could be a very simple, could be something complicated. What do you think you would do in these 2 days?
Well, if we're going to be making a business out of alcoholic beverage and food, he's going to go find someone who can teach him how to make mixed drinks.
A mixologist.
A mixologist. Give me... Okay, first off, do you just ask? Or how do you go about asking a mixologist for help?
How do I go about it? Well, I'd be looking around and asking people. Probably go to maybe one of the other local taverns. So probably Yawning Portal would be the first place I'd go.
Okay. Funnily enough, at the Yawning Portal, Durnan, he's got beer and ale on tap. Not much mixology there. To find a place that does have mixology going around, just give me an overall investigation check.
Okay, investigation. That's really bad. 5.
It takes you... The thing is that, eventually you're going to find a place if you keep up at it. But that being said, it takes you the entire 2 days to find this place. Give me a persuasion check. Just straight, unless you have something you want to do in order to get this mixologist to share their secret with you.
We'll try with persuasion and then offer money as well.
If you offer money,
this black hole, man, fuck.
How much money do you offer?
2 gold.
2 gold? Oh! You can add 1 to your roll.
So 13 or 15 rather. I'm doing it the opposite way.
Okay. 15 to receive. Basically sits you down for an evening, shows you some of how the mixologist does this, shows you some of the liquors that they prefer to use, just as a quick sort of, it's a slow evening, and you offer the 2 gold, so they say, why not? And so you spend an evening learning some mixology art. Whenever you make a roll, or if you have to serve at serving drinks and whatnot, you can now permanently add a +1 to your roll. Go ahead and write that as a note or something, or just keep it in mind because I might forget. So
yeah, I'll put that in here somewhere. I'll put that in.
Wonderful. Okay, that's Esbent. Grim, what would you do in these 2 days? What would you want to do?
So
and if anybody wants... Yeah, go ahead.
I don't really know that I have access through the gauntlet specifically of the training, but Grim would start to brew beer. Grim would try and do some training to start brewing beer, so that he can kind of have his own blend of beer that he can supply.
What is the law regulations for moonshining?
Is there? Yeah, actually, that's a better question. Is there an issue if somebody brews their own beer?
Well, it depends. You, to receive training, you'd have to go to the Brewers Guild.
Mr. DM, would I know how to make moonshine?
Would you know how to make moonshine?
It's not moonshine. It's not liquor. It's beer. But
I would be inclined to believe that Volker does. Whereas I will be selling something that could potentially make you blind, though.
Give me a luck check, Volker.
It's a flat 20. What am I rolling?
High or low? You choose.
Always high, baby. Always high.
All right. On a roll of... Oh, yeah. Nope. So perhaps your family didn't prefer the moonshine, much preferred the more the naturally brewed stuff as opposed to moonshine. Maybe if you talk to your cousins, you know.
Oh no, I'm not touching that battery acid.
Okay. So
I want to kill somebody in this establishment.
So for you, Grim, you can spend some money to get some training in brewers' equipment, because there is such a thing as brewers' supplies. So
is it legal for somebody to brew their own beer and sell it? I imagine that nobody really cares if you're brewing your own beer and you're drinking it yourself. But specifically selling it.
Yeah, it is legal if you have a permit from the guild.
We do.
Okay, so I would need to get training from the guild itself.
Yes, you'd have to get training from the guild itself.
Okay, I will. I'll spend a couple days working with the guild.
Sounds good. Give me straight intelligence checks. 2 straight intelligence checks as you spend 2 days doing this.
It's over.
Chat, we're cooked.
Chat, we're fucked.
That's a 1.
It's over.
And that's a 12.
Okay. The first day, honestly, completely wasted to you. You work with somebody who, as soon as you start, immediately starts drinking their own brew. And upon closer inspection, this stuff is straight Everclear. And so within 15 minutes, they are slurring their words so much you can't even understand it. And within 20, they're asleep. And unfortunately, that was the only one available that day. However, the second day, you receive... Yes.
I want that moonshine again. You're telling me I don't need to waste half a bottle? I can drink 2 shots and go out? Oh, okay, you had my
straight
interest.
Fucking ethanol, man.
However, the second day you start to be trained in this. Now, the rules for learning for learning tools. I mean, like, I'm going to be very honest. I learned how to brew, in real life. I learned how to brew something in literally an afternoon of research. So in terms of brewing,
Grim can't Google things.
no, it's not. There's not Googling, which is why you went to the guild. What I'm trying to say is that to learn a skill or something, the DM's guide it says, hey, you have to spend like 150 days on this. I think that's ridiculous.
We pause the game for the next half a year while Grim learns how to brew beer.
It's
actually
wild.
Make it a full year because I'll probably have more intelligence checks in the ones.
Right. It's not necessary to use this equipment; it's to be proficient with it. So there is reasons behind it, but.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think that it's going to be much more nuanced, such as being brewing correctly. Is you're going to become much more proficient at brewing something quickly as opposed to learning wood tools or something. So,
well, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. So I think so. You can put a full day. Keep a note on your character sheet or in your notes or something, but put a full day's worth of brewer's supplies skills. I'm gonna say, as you put time towards this, and depending on how many time skips we have, you're gonna need to become proficient 50 days at brewer's supplies.
But that doesn't if I what am I doing here? I think this is not doing what I want it to. I can still brew. Sorry, I got distracted. I can still brew beer, but it won't be with proficiency, though. Correct. Or is that? Or do I need to wait until I become like proficient by order of the guild before I can brew
do
beer?
anything that you want with any skill?
Before you can sell something, you're gonna have to be proficient with the supplies and have a license from the guild to sell it.
Do I need to spend all of those 50 days training with the Brewers Guild, or is that something where I can attempt to make beer on my own as well?
That is something, if you purchase the brewer's supplies, you can attempt to do it yourself and gain proficiency at this point. That is something that does make sense to me.
Okay, I will.
Question,
I
Mr.
will
DM.
purchase brewers. After a day of working, I will.
Oh, that's expensive.
I will. Yeah. Actually, how much does it cost?
20 doubloons.
20 dragons.
I'm willing to pitch in if you need it. But
I don't need
it's expensive.
That's fine. I just need to figure out how to add some modifiers to my thing.
You go to the bottom left area, behind, below the passive perception. There should be global skill modifiers. You click on the plus icon. You write down brewer supplies.
I'll have Store look at it after this.
Wow, slave labor.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna put that in for now, and I'll make a note that I have 1 day of training.
Thank you. So.
And then I'll buy the tools on my way back as well. So that cost me 20 gold.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then I will spend any other time I have kind of maybe getting that set up in the basement of the
multi-use basement exorcism.
Hey, where else? Hey, look. My ghost brew is going to be just. Anyway, that's what Grim would do.
Sounds good. Henzim, how are you going to spend your 2 days?
I'm gonna
Go look for your brain parasite.
I'm gonna go. I don't know. I'd go stake out my old house to see this goober that's been living in my room.
Ooh.
No, I'm not going into my
okay.
house. I'm going to stake it out.
You're going to stake it out. Give me a stealth check first, then give me a perception check.
Okay. I'm gonna guidance my stealth on the stealth check.
16. Okay.
Then 13.
13. Okay. I need to make some rolls. Just a second.
It's so funny.
Let's see. Let us see. Oh, excellent. Okay. All right. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. Good
I
to
don't
know.
like when the DM likes like that.
All right. Okay. And now let me do this. Oof. All right. So you stake out your house. You watch your parents through the windows. They rarely leave their house, but they're absolutely tinkering. And you see the lights of your bedroom dark. How long do you stake out this place?
Until they're no longer dark.
Okay. At about 1 a.m, you see a candle in the window.
Excellent. Let me get my spells here. Hold on.
I wish I could give them not one, but alas,
I'm going
those are
to
reserved for Esben.
disguise stealth on me,
Okay.
and I'm going to make myself look like an old fat gnome.
Okay.
Then I'm going to peek into the window.
You're gonna look like Sublorbs.
Yep.
As you peek into the window, you can see the flickering candle, which is on the nightstand, of a gnome who's tucked away into your bed. It is very neat and orderly in here. It looks like there's a couple of gizmos and gadgets on the table and around. There's a small pack to the side, but the gnome is tucked into bed, his head facing away, like his face facing away from you.
I will I will like to what can I do with this spell?
What spell are we talking about, sir?
I will use prestidigitation to send a cold shiver down the gnome's spine.
I think that's more elementalism.
As you cast this magic to disturb this gnome in the bed, you see him shiver. Give me a perception check.
I've lost my character sheet.
Good show. Want me to roll for you?
No.
Okay. As he shivers, sits up, looks around, and you catch a glimpse of his face. Looks to be a young, handsome gnome. Oh, that's strange. Looks a little bit like you.
Oh no. Is he a background child?
He settles back into bed, shrugging.
And in his head, he's gonna hear, Oz knows you, and then I'm gonna run away.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
What the?
You're
As
gonna
you
die.
connect with his mind, and you hear gibbering madness. Oh, I saw that first wisdom save.
Yeah, too bad all of my wisdom saves are at advantage, so.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wisdom, charisma, and intelligence saving throws as the gnome is with advantage.
Congratulations. Yes. Wait, is it magic resistance?
No, I just have advantage on wisdom, intelligence, and charisma saving throws.
That's wild. That is so wild. All right.
Yep, it's so OP.
Hear within your mind gibbering madness coming from him, and a single voice that stands above the rest. But you save from this gibbering madness as you see him look up at the window as you run away.
That's so creepy. What the fuck are your parents?
I don't think it's what the fuck is the parents, but I think what is living with his parents is the question.
Yeah, gentlemen, I hate to admit this. There is a really good chance that I am going to be dying.
Okay. Is there anything? I mean, that would take a day. Is there anything else that you want to do?
I would go back the next day,
Yeah.
actually, and see if he leaves his room.
You get back the next day, and he's already gone.
Okay. I'm gonna look into the bedroom window.
Yeah.
Is it?
So creepy.
Look like anything's been changed?
Is that you, Handsome? Is that you, Handsome? As you see your father around the corner of the house. I thought I heard something out here.
I immediately run away.
Handsome, no way!
And then I duck behind somebody, I cast Disguise Self, and I look like a halfling, and I just sort of meander away.
Whistling.
And you hear calling out from behind you, Handsome, where'd you go? Come back!
Yep, that's it. We're good. I'm not gonna poke that bear.
Okay.
And whoever's back at the mansion, you see Hensem rush in looking like a halfling, slam the door shut, put both hands on the door, and go. For
the sake of it, I would have been there. And suddenly a fucking stranger just bolted into the house, huh?
and I will dismiss this guy's self and go, right, my parents are holding an insane person's hostage. Or there's dyings. There's probably gonna die.
What?
And I tell Henzem, or I tell Volker exactly what I saw, and then I go to my room, and I'm going to close the window. Actually, are there shutters on my door, on my window?
Yes, there are. You have a fully repaired place.
Okay, I make sure there are shutters on the inside of my window now, too. And that's what I'll do with the last day.
You'll have to spend 5 gold pieces to get shutters on the inside of your windows.
Yep, it's done.
Sounds good.
Should we report that to the authorities?
It's best not.
Yeah. How would you like to spend your 2 days?
Yeah, would probably once again be out and about, kind of wandering the city, healing, or otherwise. And for the tavern itself, she would probably, unless it's already been gathered, accumulate teas and coffees for the morning crowd, potentially.
Or
they don't plan on.
I'd say that it makes sense that it would already be gathered.
Perfect. So then she would not do that.
We don't have Fala right next to a house.
That's true. Rather than go out and gather it, then she would experiment in the mornings with some different brews of teas as she wakes up, and then maybe plant some tea plants and flowers in the back garden with Fala's advice.
Give me a nature check, and seeing as you and Volker have built up a relationship with Fala, you can do this at advantage, as she would help you in this process.
I think 11 out of it.
Hey, that's slightly above average.
That's above average, yeah. You're able to get some seeds started, and you think in time these tea leaves will grow, and maybe you'll be able to make something of them. Okay. And so going out into the city, well, without putting you into the same moral questioning as you do, let's say, just give me a d20 roll, add your wisdom modifier to see how this goes.
So a straight wisdom check?
Straight wisdom check.
That would just be pressing the
ones on the left side.
Perfect.
Yep, just pressing wisdom.
Oh no, that was with a bad dish.
So roll again.
It's a reroll. Oh!
Natural 20.
I'll take that one.
That is beautiful. See, Volker, it's not so bad all the time.
Hey, last time I rolled better by re-rolling, so I mean, it seems to be a trend.
That is true. So, with a natural 20, you spend time out in the city, and you start to make a small name of yourself. It's just you run into several situations where you are able to provide help in both providing healing or merciful acts at the right time, and protecting the occasional bystander from being mugged or something, and in your own way, almost like a weird sort of vigilante. You spend some time around the city just walking the streets and make a small name of yourself. And with that, you are gifted from a nice old lady that you help along the way. You are gifted a beautiful emerald earring that is worth 25 gold pieces. Very small, but it's a little dangly emerald earring. Gotta gift it to the nat 20.
You said a ring worth 25?
An earring worth 25 gold pieces, yes.
Perfect. Sorry, just had to write that down.
That is A-okay. No worries. Okay. So I think that was nicely done. Nat 20. Gotta love it. Okay. Lastly, we've got Volkar.
Hello.
Hello.
I would obviously have those things, that by nighttime that I'm working on the necklace. But by daytime, on the first day, I will be... Well, let me roll my portents. Oh, very average, and I'm revving the last portent for the last hour before for the necklace. I'm hogging that 20. But
sure.
I will be interested on the first day. I will be interested to investigate to see, because this has happened as far as I remember. This nightly dreaming occurrence began to happen immediately after he severed his link with
Fate.
With fate, as he became a diviner. He will be interested to have a look and see if what could be, if it's the reason that if any other diviner has had this situation of like impending doom within their dreams, if it's like a common thing or if it's something that is happening to him in a way of a premonition, or what it would be the case for the first day. He's interested in investigating.
I would say that this would be an investigation check to see what you can drum up.
Sir. Normal.
Pee pee poo poo. Roll fast.
All right. Well, shut up, Storak.
Holy crap.
Nice.
You get in touch with diviners and ask about whether anybody's having premonitions. And Dustin, no. Nobody else seems to be having the same sort of premonitions that you are. It seems that this is surrounding you specifically.
Given that they are within the same, I would say, there are also diviners. I would like to, mention to them in a way of warning the dreams that I've been having, just in case that it just so happened to be something beyond what he, if it's something that is more than I'm just going to self-immolate in the future, like, whereas compared to maybe something bad will happen because time is ticking, kind of warning to them as a fellow diviner. Absolutely. Like a concern, omen.
Yeah. In the College of Divination, in the College of the School of Divination, and wizards of such tend to share these sorts of premonitions, just as you're not sure where it comes from, where it goes, and so you provide this warning, and it is appreciated. As it seems that a lot of the divination wizards do find it prudent to share this just in case, because the issue with divination, the issue with being able to divine what is coming ahead, is that not everything is set in stone. And so how can you predict whether by providing this divination, are you stopping what might happen? You don't know how this is going to affect you. A lot of the times, many of the divination wizards aren't exactly sure how it will affect what they do. However, for a dream such as this immolation, you feel it prudent to warn them just in case, and you do so, and it is greatly appreciated.
For all I know, I'm just simply getting like messages from another multiverse or something. Who knows? But it's prudent to share, much like I share with Grim, to another higher authority.
Indeed.
Okay, that was much better than I expected it to happen. And for my second day, would it be? I assume that it would be something that we had to decide with the party on itself when we hire those halflings, right?
Yeah. You can say that you talk to everybody if you want to.
Because it would be prudent to have them, as we gain, we finish the paperwork, we just got our products. Now we get them as the next day, it's like we're opening day. Where we opening big day. We have new hires and everything. But that can be a later on thing.
Yeah. If you guys do want to decide, the halflings do show up in this 2-day period and offer their services once again and ask if you've had time to consider consider whether you'd like to hire them.
Now, the question that I had, Mr. DM, obviously with borrow knowledge, I knew, and obviously once the borrow knowledge expires, I lose the knowledge. But as I'm training, would it count as training still, for the terms of like gaining the proficiency, or just by the nature of being trained momentarily through magic, abstains me from being able to, work the work and gain the knowledge?
It makes more sense that it doesn't count as training, as the magic in and of itself fills you, and yeah, it would. I think it would take away from the significance of spending time actually training.
That makes sense. That's what I wanted to ask, because I'm inclined to believe the same way that you are, that there's nothing to learn when you quote unquote already know, even if it's a knowledge that doesn't come through you.
Yes.
I already bought the seed. Let me do a fuck it. I'm gonna portend to assure myself a nature. Let me roll it to see if I had actually will be a relation to, because I know what I want to do for day 2. It will be culminated exactly very nicely for the culmination of the necklace. In terms of Corellon, that Elden Corellon, for Volker to know the god's colors of it. If I'm not wrong, it's like a white and blue, but I'm trying to assert if Volker would know. So let me just roll a relation to see if I have to portend that shit.
It's taken all of this to figure out what Volker was doing. It just sounded like he was having a stroke and saying words for the sake of words. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking
roll
17. But a 17 suffice to know the colors of that god portfolio.
It's important. A 17, because this would be on day 2.
What I want to do on day 2 is, provided that I know, is to. All right, I want to make cause I know how I mentioned in the center I wish to put the exotic flower in it. You know how if you put a flower with a colored, colored water will be, that the flower itself will take, as it absorbs the water, the colors from it. Something that I can put on on the necklace, be on itself, that could split the flower for half the two colors of Coloron's deity?
Yeah, well, Corellin is always known to wear a uh,
Let me
sky
read
blue
it on the
blue
wiki.
cloak, and is a gold elf. So sky blue and gold.
Blue silver. Yeah, that works. Then yeah, it would be my last day. Now that I know about the diviners and such, I would assume that on that day I also had a night with the time taking, right?
Sure.
I would be interested in making a concoction or something that I could put the flower seal on. So it takes, once it blooms, it takes the golden cape color of Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Okay.
alchemy supplies or something.
Sure.
Bada bing.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada boom. I'm gonna roll then.
Sounds like a plan.
There it is.
Yep, there it is. With a natural 20, you get exactly the color that you like, that you want.
And given that, I'm gonna use my portent on the last for my wood carvings for the 18th hour.
For sure. So
for a 25.
With maximum work, and you put in a lot of gold into this and rolled very well for all of those, you create this necklace, this wooden necklace that for whomever wears this will gain a +1 to their persuasion checks with how beautiful this necklace is. It is not magical, but it is so well crafted that it reflects well upon them. So you have completed this necklace with this final work.
Persuasion rolls bracket non-magical. Excellent. I'm happy with my 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I explode?
No.
He's gonna
At
immolate.
the end of the full days. Self-immolate. It is a question for the group. Do you guys choose to hire the halflings, or who do you choose to run your tavern?
I would be interested in getting those halflings. Yes, sir.
Same.
That's 2 for the halflings, 3 for the halflings.
Grim doesn't know about their potentially dubious
plan that we have. Doesn't seem
he
like
doesn't know about this, right? Then the Grim would be okay with the halflings running it.
He who does not know.
I mean, hey, all Grim knows is that these guys were so motivated to try and find work that they basically came up on a cold call, asking for a way to earn money. That's
that's respectable.
Shows some motivation. Shows they're willing to put in some really hard work. That's good. Grim likes to see that.
Oh, this is gonna go so badly.
It's over.
I cannot wait for the outcome.
Okay. And Kia, you're on board with this?
Yeah, with the halflings.
Okay. Okay, so the halflings are hired and they are ecstatic. A little dirty, but they're ecstatic.
Obviously, we will let them know that we know of their, gang nature as well as their shifter nature.
Do let them know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we are hiring, but we know what they are, and we expect utmost. What's the word? Or no funny business, because we know the know, you know the know. We're hiring you, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, now watch it go
How do they react, though?
pear-shaped.
Immediately, they grow quite concerned. The leader of the group. Her name.
Did we just
B.
role play this out, or?
I'm thinking so. Yeah, let's roleplay this out.
I assume Grim is not present for this. I want you guys if Grim knew about their kind of dubious background, he probably wouldn't be. The order probably wouldn't be okay with it.
But.
I mean, you know what? Let's do this. The whole group, keeping it a secret from Grim. Everybody give deception checks. Grim, give an insight check.
God damn! You're eating that form.
Damn.
Grim, you rolled a 4.
Wait, I rolled a 4?
Volker is using one of his abilities, which means that his portent rolls, he can just insert one of his rolls.
Oh my!
I mean, I would say hold off. We'll see.
I
rolled a 12. Yeah, we roll. Yeah, you can. That's okay.
Okay, so with your 4, add your insight to that. Your wisdom. I don't know if you're trained in insight or not.
1. My
insight.
5. It's plus 1. Yeah, it's a 5.
All right. So
these
let's see.
These
So
are
we've
numbers that your mind just cannot comprehend. They're so good.
That's a 15, a 12. All right, I'm waiting for 2 more deception checks. Ooh.
Oh my
That was close. All right, 1 more.
Where the hell is the D? Here it is.
I guess, I don't think.
Really? And I'm putting the fucking strings in the Matrix.
I don't think Esmond would actually be necessarily knowledgeable in what the other 2 want to actually do with these halflings, to be honest with you. He's actually just looking to give someone a chance at a better life right now. So
It'll be a conversation that we're coming back to.
So this conversation, the leader of the group by the name of Danica Bryn Hilltopple, one of the halflings. There's 2 males, 2 females working for you now. Who approaches them with this info?
The
Grim,
would say.
right now you're working out.
Probably Esmond, I'm gonna say.
I mean, Esmond's going to be doing the whole introduction to the whole business anyway. So depending on if everyone's going to be there. Okay.
Because I had to wheel a portent, so what's the word? I also know halfling. It would be most reasonable for me to be there, I think.
Okay. I appreciate your employing us. We're definitely looking for work, and this is going to be very nice for us.
Right. Well, what kind of skills exactly do you have with this kind of work? I mean, running a tavern is not something that many people have necessarily full knowledge of. What exactly is your skill set?
Well, I've ran drinks. We're very quick. We keep our ears about. We can help anybody, and we can help anybody with anything that they need. We can bring food and drink to patrons, and yes.
How good are you at mixing drinks?
Mixing drinks with a spoon?
All right. There'll be needs training with mixing drinks. How good are you at cooking?
With cooking? Oh, roasted plenty good things.
Such as
Meth.
I was just thinking that, bro.
Oh, well, whatever we can catch, and it's always appetizing. Actually, Danica here, she worked in a kitchen for a few days.
any particular specialties?
Oh, I made a good stew.
Stew.
These are good.
Stew.
Right. Well,
One of the
Well,
boys speaks up. Oh, and his name's Kelso. This is Kelso speaking up. Hi. We may not have a lot of experience right off the bat, but I guarantee that our own enthusiasm and willingness to learn is going to make up for it, even if the first couple of days might be a little bumpy.
right. Well, there's going to be definitely some onboarding here. We're not going to just throw you to the wolves. I've been learning a little bit of mixology myself, so I can at least give you some knowledge. Not much, but better than nothing.
Has been in your head, you're gonna hear, the phrase thrown to the wolves might be a little bad for a bunch of were-rats. Just saying.
Right, I forgot about that. Just don't mind me. Either way. So, we're going to try to make sure that you're at least as capable as we hope you to be, and I am going to expect you all to learn a little bit more about making food more than stew. It's not going to be a very big turn-in if everyone's getting stew all the time.
I make a really good stew. I don't know about you.
You can definitely make me some, and then we'll see what it's like, but I'm just saying, just stew is not exactly a good thing for a tavern to have. We need a little bit more than just stew.
Fair enough. I can make soup, too.
I like your attitude.
Anything with a cauldron will work, it seems, huh?
Have you cooked any meat before?
Meat? Yeah, mice.
Okay.
That's a little bit disturbing considering they're all mice. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, Hensom's face goes sheet white, and he's just like, alright, now I'm lying.
Right, mice. I understand. Okay. So, to be fair, just full out all disclosure, we have looked into your past a little bit just to understand who you are, and we're not just hiring random people off the street. I hope you understand that.
They all kind of stop and look at you. You what?
Right, so I understand that you all live on the street, so you probably don't have much experience. That's fine.
They start relaxing a little bit. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I will cast Detect Thoughts on the leader, and I will not go deep.
Okay.
I just
The
want
initial
surface
thoughts
level.
are, oh, he just thinks we're offense. Whew. Whew.
So I understand that you're all part of a gang.
What?
He knows. Go for the kill, why don't you? Holy jugular
all
shot, bro.
four of them, one of them reaches behind, pulls a knife from her hair. The other one reaches down, pulls a knife from the boot. Another one pulls two knives from inside the trousers. What you talking about, gang?
Well, that action right there just kind of tells me everything I need to know. But, again, I understand. I've lived on the street myself. I've had to do a lot of horrible things in my life. It is not pretty, and I get it. But we do have a very specific expectation with this place. So none of that gang thing happens here. Understand?
You're still gonna hire us?
Yes. Got a problem?
Provided that you don't do any funny business within our establishment, we're willing to provide our work.
When you say that, Enzim, with your detect thoughts, the initial thought is, well, this is going to be easy.
In that person's head, she's just gonna hear, I don't think it's gonna be as easy as you think.
Stiffen. He stiffens hardcore. Looks around. And in the head back. You can hear my thoughts?
Just the ones you're thinking right now.
We're booger.
And I'll end the connection.
She remains stiffened, but the other three are focused on you, Espen, as they say, "Aye, we'll put in the work. We got you."
Right. Well, again, make sure I don't want to see anything going on in this establishment that isn't just making sure that the patrons are taken care of, food is on the table, and drinks are being made aplenty. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Anything else, and you'll be right on the street again. Immediately, no questions asked.
The three of them salute. Yes, sir.
I've been noticing the other one does not.
She looks pale.
Do we understand each other?
She nods.
Right. So, there's a couple other things that we have to talk about, more than just all of this. And Esben will kind of look at the other two, or if Kia's here, 3.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. So we also know of your condition.
It would be, as they say, condition with that. As Volker will mention, given that we are providing a service as a tavern and inn, it would not be a good image if rats were to appear in this place.
At this point, the leader looks at Enzim again. How much do you know about us?
Well,
More than you know.
Enough to know that we are still willing to employ you.
Give me a group intimidation check. You can choose either intimidation or persuasion. Your choice.
Noises of pull-ups come from upstairs.
Can I give bardic inspiration to everyone in the room?
Yes, you may.
With the exception of myself, because I don't think I can do it to myself.
Guidance plus a d6 / or 1d20 plus 1d6 plus 1d4.
Just either persuasion or deception, or persuasion or intimidation. What was the roll?
Intimidation or persuasion.
I am persuading.
Persuasion is better than intimidation for me.
I will be persuading because I'm not giving.
My rolls are shit today. Oh, performance! Thank God it was a mistake.
Actually worse.
Much better.
Every time. Persuasione.
And persuasion.
Let's see how this goes. Bam. That's a really good roll, considering it's only a +1, but I'm gonna luck it.
Well, remember, you do also have the D6
Yes, sir.
from the...
I know, but I'm,
Just making sure.
Better use it before I lose it. Yes, sir. 21.
Right. 21.
So
we got a 21, a 17,
21.
a 12, and a 23. Okay. With those successes, specifically 1 true success and 2 successes above 20, the one that you know as Dasher, the youngest one, the youngest male, immediately blurts out, "All right, we're on a job. We're on a job." The three other ones try and shush him, but he steps up. "All right," steps up to you, Espen. You're really gonna care for us, eh?
If you work hard, we're willing to put you in for the job.
We're being paid. We're being paid by another. We was to cause you trouble, man. But you're too damn kind. Why? We's rats.
And Ozkin talks with my head.
You can talk with your what?
She knows, and I point at the one.
She steps away from you.
She knows.
Look, I have a very strong opinion on how the world works.
I'm going to, as he says this, sorry, I want to get this in, flash my detect thoughts over to Esben and read his surface level thoughts as he's about to go into this, because that was a conversation I was going to have anyways. And
Okay. So
if you don't want to say it out loud, you can type in a message or something. That's fine.
How about we'll discuss it after game?
That's fine.
Yeah, sounds like a great plan.
So, right, I've lived my life on the streets before. I understand what it's like when everyone will just cast you out and you have nothing to work for. I want to give an opportunity for you to be able to pull yourselves out of that kind of lifestyle, because it's very easy to get stuck in it. That's why I'm offering this.
And the leader kind of bows her head a little bit. You're much too kind, mate. You're much too. And in this moment, Volker, your hair stands on end. A chill runs down your spine as you hear in the back of your head the clock strike.
I would like to hunker down. I'm drop what I'm hunkering down.
Before you are able to react, windows rattle violently as a thunderous explosion erupts in Troll Skull Alley, shaking the very walls around you. The deafening roar drowns out all other sounds for a heartbeat before being replaced by shattered glass, splintering wood, and the anguished wails of the wounded following. A fiery shockwave tears through the street, hurling charred bodies into the air like ragdolls before they crash lifelessly to the cobblestones. A thick cloud of acrid black smoke billows outward, rolling through the alley like a living thing, choking the air with the stench of burned flesh, scorched fabric, and smoldering timber. The heat of the blast still lingers, prickling against your skin even as embers and bits of flaming debris drift down like hellish snow. As the smoke shifts, you glimpse the epicenter of the destruction, a blackened crater where just moments ago life bustled as normal. The muffled ring in your ear fades, replaced by the panicked cries of survivors, the creak of weakened structures threatening to collapse, and the distant, frantic shouts of the city watch approaching. The explosion wasn't just close, it happened right outside your door. And we will pick up next week with that.
Holy shit, a fireball?
Flippy!
What did I do?
Rat fucking halfling.